Arionne Curry's latest post and delete moment has everybody talking again, and it's starting to look like no matter how much time passes, she and Martell Holt can't seem to stay out of each other's shadow. The moment that post went up, fans started buzzing, and before anyone could even blink, it was gone. But as usual, the internet never sleeps, and screenshots started making their way around faster than fire on dry grass. What's strange is that this little post, short as it was, carried enough shade and mystery to make people ask one big question. Was Arionne calling out Martell again, or was she just trying to get attention? Either way, it stirred the pot all over again, and once more, Love and Marriage Huntsville fans found themselves caught up in another round of messy drama. Now, here's the thing about Arionne. This isn't her first time doing something like this. If you've been following her for a while, you know that she has a way of making the smallest post sound like a bombshell. Whether it's a quote about loyalty, a message about being done with fake people, or a subtle, "I'm too real for this" kind of vibe, she knows exactly how to get people talking. And the fact that she keeps posting and deleting makes it even more suspicious, because people start wondering, who was she? But this time felt different, because this post, from the way it was worded, had a little sting to it, the kind of sting that made people think it was personal. And when it comes to Arionne, personal almost always means Martell. Now, even though she didn't name names, the timing of it had everyone connecting dots. You see, it came right after some new tension started brewing around Martell again. Whispers about his behavior, new rumors about his relationships, and even talk about him being on thin ice with some of the cast. So when Arionne suddenly posts something that sounds like it's aimed at a man who didn't appreciate a real woman, people immediately went, "Oh, she's talking about Martell." And honestly, who could blame them? Because for years, Arionne's been linked to Martell in ways that go deeper than just gossip. They share a child together. They've had a long emotional history. And even though the world has moved on from their messy affair storyline, it's clear that some old feelings might still be floating around. Every time she posts something cryptic, people remember all the things that have happened between them. The late night lives, the leaked calls, the interviews, and the shade thrown back and forth online. It's a cycle that seems never ending. Now, while Arionne was stirring the pot with her mystery post, Letitia Scott's name got pulled into the mix too. And that's what made the situation even more layered. Because apparently, Letitia posted something positive about her marriage around the same time. A sweet, smiling birthday message from Marcel. But fans couldn't help but see the timing and start making connections. They were like, hold up, Arionne posts something shady. On the other hand, seemed completely unbothered. Her energy in that post screamed, "I'm good, my family's good, and I don't care what's going on around me." She looked confident, she looked peaceful, and she clearly wanted people to know that whatever mess was going on online, it wasn't going to shake her home. But still, people were split. Some thought she was just being genuine and celebrating her husband. Others thought it was a subtle dig back at Arionne, like a reminder that while some folks are posting cryptic quotes, she's got stability. And it's interesting how all of this keeps looping back to Martell, even when he's not saying a single word, because lately he's been quiet, almost too quiet. No interviews, no rants, no long lives defending himself. And for Martell, that's rare. Usually if someone says something about him, he's quick to respond, especially when it comes to people like Letitia or Marcel. But when Arionne throws shade, he stays silent. And that silence says a lot. Because it's not like he doesn't see it. He's active online. He knows what's being said. But that silence is exactly why people think Arionne still holds some kind of emotional power over him. Remember that leaked phone call a while back where she hinted that Martell was playing for the other team? That was huge. It was messy, it was bold, and it was the kind of claim that would have sent Martell into a full-blown rant if it came from anyone else. But from Arionne, he said nothing, not one word. He didn't defend himself, didn't deny it, didn't address it. And yet, when Letitia or Marcel so much as mention his name in a rumor, he's ready to go live and start talking. So what's the difference? Why does Arionne get silenced when everyone else gets fire? That's what fans are still trying to figure out. Some people say it's because Arionne knows too much. And honestly, that could be true. She's been around Martell in ways that others haven't. She knows things from behind the scenes, things that were never caught on camera. She's seen him at his best and at his worst. And on top of that, she's the mother of one of his kids. That's a bond that never really goes away. So maybe Martell stays quiet because he knows one wrong move could make things even messier. Because if there's one thing Arionne's shown over the years, is that she's not afraid to speak her mind when she feels disrespected. But here's the problem with that. Every time Arionne posts something, it doesn't just stay between her and Martell. It spreads. It pulls other people into it. Melody's name gets mentioned. Letitia and Marcel's names get dragged into conversations. Even the show itself gets caught up in the noise. It's like a chain reaction. One post leads to 10 stories, and suddenly everyone's trying to figure out who's talking about who. It's messy, it's draining, and honestly, it's starting to feel repetitive. Because at some point, you think everyone involved would just let go and move on. That's why fans have been giving Letitia credit this time around. Because instead of clapping back, instead of throwing shade or jumping into lives, she just kept it cute. Her post looked calm, happy, and full of love. And even though some people called it performative, others saw it as growth. Because when your name keeps getting dragged into drama that doesn't even involve you, sometimes the best way to win is to smile and stay focused. And maybe that's what Letitia's finally learned, that not every bit of gossip deserves a response. Now, when it comes to Arionne, people are saying the opposite, because this pattern of posting and deleting has become her signature move. It's almost like she wants to say something without dealing with the consequences. She drops a message, lets people talk, and then deletes it before it can be used against her. But of course, by then, it's too late. Screenshots are already floating around, blogs are already talking, and everyone's already formed their opinion. It's a move that keeps her name in rotation, but also keeps her tied to Martell's narrative, something she claims she's tired of, but can't seem to escape. And that's where the real problem seems to be. Arionne has been trying to prove herself for years. She wants people to see her more than the other woman. She wants to be respected, to have her own voice, her own platform. But every time she tries to make a statement, it ends up coming off as messy. It's like she can't step out of the shadow of her own past. And while she might not see it, the audience does. Because while everyone else in that circle seems to be moving forward, Melody focusing on her peace, Letitia strengthening her marriage, Marcel working on his projects, Arionne is still out here fighting old battles with new captions. Now, it's easy to say, oh, she's just doing it for attention, but it might be deeper than that. Because when you've been attached to a public relationship that played out on national TV, and you were never the one in control of the story, that can leave you feeling unseen. Maybe that's why she keeps doing this. Maybe these posts are her way of reminding people that she exists, that she has her side, that she's not just a side note in Martell's story. But the problem is, instead of gaining sympathy, it often brings more backlash because people are tired. They've seen this pattern too many times. Still, one thing that's undeniable is that the tension between Arionne and Martell hasn't completely faded. Even though he's quiet now, the energy between them still lingers. It's written all over how she moves. You can tell there's frustration there, the kind that comes from being tied to someone, but never being fully acknowledged. Because for all the years she's known him, for all the things they've shared, Martell has never given her the public validation she's wanted. And when a woman feels like she's given everything but gotten nothing in return, that pain can come out in ways that look like shade, posts, or cryptic quotes. That's what fans are seeing now. Someone who feels ignored, trying to make noise in the only way she knows how. Meanwhile, the rest of the Love and Marriage Huntsville circle seems to be growing